One part of Wicked has already aged poorly thanks to a Wicked 2 change. One specific aspect of Wicked is awkward on a rewatch after the upcoming sequel changed its title. Wicked was one of the most successful movies of 2024, which led to it being nominated for an impressive 10 Academy Awards. Usually, after the Oscars, the buzz for most of the awards season standouts dies down. However, this will not be the case for Wicked, as the upcoming Wicked for Good will continue Elphaba and Glinda's story. After the dramatic ending of Wicked, it will be exciting to return to the world of Oz in the highly anticipated sequel. Wicked's cliffhanger ending was not surprising, as the sequel was announced prior to the film's release. Since the Broadway musical is based on a split into 2 acts, it made sense to split Wicked's story into 2 movies. After all, it would have been too hard to condense the emotional journey of Elphaba and Glinda into just one movie. While the sequel was planned ahead of time and the films were shot back-to-back, Wicked 2's title was changed after the release of the first film. Because of this, the title card in the first Wicked movie is awkward. After the song No One Mourns the Wicked, the title card for Wicked shows up on screen. When I first watched Wicked in November 2024, when the movie was released, I didn't think twice when I read Wicked, Part 1 on the screen. After all, at that point in time, the title of the upcoming sequel was Wicked, Part 2. Furthermore, I didn't question the studio's decision to refer to both movies as Part 1 and Part 2 at all, as a lot of movie series do this. I actually think it was smart to clearly state that Wicked is just the first part of a bigger story. If it didn't do this and audience members didn't know that the sequel had already been shot, then they may have been thrown off by Wicked's cliffhanger ending. This especially could have been the case since a lot of the conflicts set up in Wicked are not resolved by the end of the film. Therefore, the title card reading Wicked, Part 1, likely avoided some people being disappointed by the movie's ending and led to more positive reviews. For the aforementioned reasons, I initially believed it was very smart to clearly establish that Wicked is just part 1 of a story that will continue in the upcoming sequel. However, my opinion on Wicked's title card changed when Wicked 2 received a new title. In December 2024, less than a month after the release of Wicked, it was revealed that the sequel would be called Wicked for Good. While this is a great title and references an amazing song from the Broadway musical, it creates a problem with the first movie's title card. Since the movie has already been released in theaters, on digital, and on streaming, it's unlikely that Wicked's title card will change. Because of the title change, Wicked and its sequel can no longer be referred to as Part 1 and Part 2. Now, it is technically correct to refer to the 2 films as Part 1 and For Good. The new subtitle for Wicked 2 is undeniably more creative, but it no longer flows well with the first film. Since the sequel's title has changed, I wish the title card for the first movie would just read Wicked. However, since the movie has already been released in theaters, on digital, and on streaming, it's unlikely that Wicked's title card will change. At the beginning of the first Wicked movie, Elphaba and Glinda can't stand each other. However, once they spend more time together, they grow to be best friends. This prompts Elphaba to invite Glinda along when she is invited to Emerald City to meet the wizard. However, the ending of the first film tests their friendship when they discover that the wizard and Madame Morrible are behind the conspiracy against the animals in the world of Oz. While Elphaba flies away from Emerald City, Glinda stays behind. Since the story of Wicked revolves around the friendship between Elphaba and Glinda, it is fitting that the title of the second movie references an emotional duet that the 2 characters will sing together. For Good is the name of a song that Elphaba and Glinda will sing in Wicked 2, during which they reflect on how much they have changed each other. In the Broadway musical, the performance of this song is also the last time Elphaba and Glinda see each other on stage. This makes them singing For Good perhaps the most emotional moment of the entire musical. If the sequel follows the musical, then Elphaba will fake her own death in Wicked for good and leave Oz with Fiyero. Before leaving, she gives Glinda the Grimoire and tells her that she has to continue her cause. After giving her the Grimoire, Elphaba and Glinda sing For Good together, emotionally reflecting on their friendship and revealing how much they mean to one another. If Wicked For Good story follows the play, then the performance of this song will probably be the last time Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande's versions of the characters see each other. Because of the emotional meaning behind the new title for Wicked 2, I am definitely glad that it was changed. However, I'd be lying if I said it didn't bother me that Wicked's title card will always read Part 1. Comments from director John M. Chu explaining the sequel's title change make it even more surprising that Wicked's title card was never changed before the film was released in theaters. Talking about Wicked 2's title change, Chu said, "Who wants a movie called Wicked, Part 2? On the script, it always said, For Good, and so it was just a point of like, do we really want to call this Part 2? And nobody wants that." Based on these comments, it seems like Chu wanted to change the title of Wicked 2 before the release of the first movie. Since For Good was always written in the script for Wicked 2, it's surprising that he and the studio didn't decide to change the first movie's title card before it was released in theaters. Doing this would have avoided this awkward element of the first Wicked movie, but now the film's title card will always be distracting.